Okay. Hi. Right. My name is Hazel Jane, and I am starting up a self-harm / mental illness type support thing. Wow, that's great introduction, Hazel. Great. No. So I'm kind of nervous because I've never really made videos before, and I'm not kind of, I don't know, interesting or funny or anything. I'm just here to help people. So yeah, that's what I'm about, and I hope you enjoy my channel, I guess. Yeah. Alright. So, the first thing I'm gonna talk about the first thing I'm going to talk about is the difference between a self-harmer and a recovering self-harmer, and I guess some of the misconceptions or confusions about the two of them. So yeah, okay. I consider myself a recovering self-harmer, and I think the point that loads of people get mixed up at is when people think that a recovering self-harmer has completely stopped self-harm, doesn't do it, doesn't own anything to self-harm with, doesn't go to therapy or anything, and they're just, I don't know, getting it out of their mind. Now, that's not really true. I consider myself a recovering self-harmer, yet I relapse a lot. Well, not a lot, but I relapse, and I think what people need to understand is that just because you're recovering doesn't mean you don't relapse. Relapse is a part of recovery. So, yeah. And I mean, it depends really. Self-harm is an addiction like any other addiction, and I think that a recovering self-harmer, that I think they're very susceptible. I mean, maybe even just as susceptible to relapsing or cutting as a normal cutter. And I think the distinct difference, whether you're still cutting the same amount of times every day, every week, whatever, I think the distinct difference between a recovering self-harmer and a self-harmer is a recovering self-harmer has made the choice that they want to work towards recovery, whether that's, throwing out a blade or going to therapy. If you are making a step that somehow hinders or at least helps you maybe go a fair amount of time without doing it, or a longer than usual time, so say you do it every day and then you go you do every other day and you try and work that up, I think if you're working towards stopping in any way, big or small, then you can consider yourself a recovering self-harmer. So that's just my personal opinion, and now I'm going to, I guess, give you some advice to how I try to recover and keep myself kind of calm and safe and healthy. So you can find a lot of general alternatives to self-harm, such as exercise and the kind of I don't know, there's a whole rubber band or hairband thing where you flick it against your wrist and stuff. Personally, I've tried those things, and although they postpone self-harm, For me, they've never fully worked. I've never been able to kind of switch just to doing that solely. But that's my personal opinion, so don't get disheartened. I'm not saying it won't work for you. I think the main tip I could give to someone who's wanting to recover is that you've got to know that people can help you as much as you want. You can have therapy for as long as you want, as long as you can. But at the end of the day, it has to come from you. Recovery has to come from the sufferer. And if you can make the decision in your mind and you can think, I'm better than this, I can do this, I can stop eventually, I can work my way towards stopping, then you can do it. So this has been a pretty awkward video, and I don't know really what to say, but I will say that my message box is always open if you need advice, and you can always comment questions, ask me questions, I guess do whatever you like, give me ideas for other videos, and I guess if people start watching me, then I'll continue to make them. So, nice to meet you, YouTube.